Okay, welcome to this exclusive tip. I'm going to teach you today how to play this. So it's kind of this right hand thing that I'm doing right here with my inversions. And I'm going to break that down for you. This is going to be applicable in any song you're playing. It's a great way to add a funky filler in any key you're playing in as well. So let's get into it. Let's start in the key of C. And the idea is here that if you take an inversion of a chord, usually the inversions sound best. So instead of taking your root position like of a C chord, what we'll do is we'll take an inversion of C. Let's start here. And what the idea is to take the notes in this chord and push each of them up to the next note up or down in the scale. So if we were to move up in the scale, that means our E would turn to an F, our C would turn to a D, and this would turn here. This is because we're in the key of C, and these are all white notes, so it's pretty easy to work in the key of C with this trick. And so what you have now is this chord, which is a D minor inversion. So you have C and D minor. And so what you could do is you can kind of get a little rhythm going and learn how to feel the groove and be able to go fast in between those two chords you just created there. So instead of going up, what if we went down? So what if we went right here? Okay, so being able to do this kind of back and forth thing works really nicely when you're playing an inversion of a chord. So if you were to do it in the key of C and maybe choose an F chord, so an F chord right here. Okay, remember you don't want to do this trick when you're in root position. You actually want to do it when you have some sort of inversion going on for you. So we're still in the key of C. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more of a ballad style here. So let's go up right there. So that's the second chord we're going to be hopping in between. Just the next notes in the scale. Everyone is moving to the next note in the scale, which is that. If we move down, it would be this. And you can experiment between what you think sounds better. If you think this sounds better than this, then you have that freedom. But look let's get a ballad style song going here in the key of C. I'll just kind of play something like this. Here we go. And if you decide, maybe in the right hand you could break the notes up and do this. So do you see how using this little inversion and then moving to the next note, identifying kind of that hopping partner that you have? This hopping partner is really effective when you're just trying to groove. So find your hopping partner. Let's try this in the key of D so you can kind of get the hang of it, and then hopefully this is going to help out your playing. So key of D, let's choose a random chord. Let's choose a 5 chord in the key of D. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be an A chord. And so we know that here's our root, skip one note within the scale, move to the next note within the scale, which is not C, because in the key of D we have a sharp, right? C sharp, right there. So then our next note in the scale. So there's our third. Skip one note in the scale, move to the next. Here we go. Remember, we don't want to work in root position. Let's take an inversion of this chord. So let's take our top note, which is an E, and move it down here. Okay? So now let's find what our hopping partner is in the key of D major on a 5 chord. So we're in the key of D, and we're playing an A chord. Okay, so an A chord in our right hand, and then you can do this over any chord progression. Okay? So our hopping partner in the key of A, let's start with the bottom note, next note in the scale. Since you're so good at your scales, you know the next note's there. This one's going to move here, and this one moves here. So you have Okay, that already sounds great. So be aware of the fingering that I'm using. Okay, the fingering is going to help you go back and forth between your hopping partner really quickly. Pretty cool, right? So let's take this chord again. It's an inversion, so we can create a hopping partner. Let's create the hopping partner down, and we'll close out the video with that. So from here, the next note down in the key of D we know is right here. This one goes to G, and this one goes to here. So you have, okay, notice my fingering. I have 1, 3, 5, and then here 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so in the key of D. So how can I show you how this works? Well, I'm going to create this on the fly. I'm going to play this song. Now solo. So maybe we should have just left that song alone because it's beautiful as is. But that gives you a good idea of how you can start creating your own improvisation within chords. Okay, you made it to the end. 1 in every 4 of my viewers clicks right there to learn how to play like me. As always, guys, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. You can click on my beautiful face right there if you'd like. And your next video's right here.